Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
My style of trading, it's mostly technical analysis.
Okay.
Just chart reading. The reason I ended up doing technical analysis, I guess part of the reason is I came from an engineering background with no experience in finance.
Yeah.
I did try doing fundamentals, but like CFA के लिए प्रिपेयर करने सोच रहा था उस टाइम पे, बट जब वो बैलेंस शीट और वो वाला चैप्टर आया, दैट इज व्हेन आई रियली लॉस्ट इंटरेस्ट. एंड the whole thing was like there are a universe of thousands of stocks. How do I like even start? Like where do I start?
Correct.
And the other challenge for me was like even if I come across a great stock, I might put money and the market might recognize the potential of that stock like years down the line. Right? What do I do in the meantime? So for all those reasons, like when I first came across charts, to be honest, like मैं जब charts भी initially देखा, for the longest time मुझे ये astrology लगता था कि like this doesn't seem like a real thing. लोग कुछ patterns देखते हैं chart पे और उस पे trade करते हैं. So it felt like astrology to me, but then I came across people who started talking about charts in terms of narratives, demand supply narratives. I read Minervini's book where he like explains a certain stock in exact terms where it started to make sense to me. Then I mean that was a turning point for me. Like charts are actually telling you stories about the people behind those trades, right? Demand, supply, all of that. The other thing is it's completely manual. I manually go through charts. I like place the trades from my thing. I use very few things on the chart. So price, volume, and moving averages.
Okay.
That's all. So I'm mostly a swing trader. When I enter a position, I'm okay holding it for a few weeks or up to a month or whatever. The goal is ki if you have made the perfect entry, if you have the perfect setup, it should be as stress-free as possible. You enter and you have to do nothing. So a day when I have to do a lot of trades, I know is a bad day. Like for me, lesser the trade, the better. And the thing that helps me do this is like before taking any trade, I do this thing where I have a bunch of close friends who initially wanted to learn trading from me. Some of them came from a fundamental background. So when I started doing technicals, they were like, "Hame bhi sikha do." So I made this rule for myself that whenever I'm taking a trade, I'll take a screenshot of the chart at that point and explain to my friends why I am doing this. So the way this helped me was like before that, I'm just mentally doing this thing and doing it. But when I started to teach my friends, a sense of responsibility came. Also, I'm putting it out there to some people ki this chart will work out in a certain way. So every time I'm writing it, sometimes I'm noticing ki like I myself don't believe what I'm saying. So it's not like a good trade.
Correct.
So it became like an additional checklist for me. It improved my bar for like taking a trade. And after a few months when my friends started becoming better at technical, they also started questioning me, right? So it became like a whole thing that like I am having a devil's advocate by myself, but also like people are, I know that what objection a person might have with this chart I'm showing to them.
Interesting.
So, yeah. Okay, so initially I started with cash stocks, and once I got very confident of my setups, then it was just ki I came to know about futures. And for me, like the way I look at futures is ki agar tum एक 2% मूव स्टॉक से ले रहे हो, स्टॉक फ्यूचर्स में यू गेट 5x लेवरेज, तो दैट सेम मूव पे यू कुड हैव मेड 5 times more money, right? And commodity में it's almost like gold gives you 10x leverage, silver gives you 5 to 6x leverage. So as I was getting better at picking setups, it just made sense that I pick up these kinds of leverage instruments. But to anyone watching this video, I would say that like don't directly go into any kind of leverage instrument, right? because your whole thought process messes up, right? Like a 1% move on a chart will look the same, but on your PNL, it will make a whole bunch of difference, right? So you might get out of good setups prematurely just because you're so leveraged, and you might not be comfortable holding on to a profit for long because you're seeing such big numbers, right? So even for me, like whenever I look at my trades and people, I remember like once I was having a great day और मम्मी साइड में ही बैठी है and I'm telling her कि I'm up like 50 lakhs, okay, and मम्मी is like बेच दे निकल जा. But the thing I always ask myself is like, if I had told this thing to my mom at 10 lakhs, she would have had the same thing. 20, 30, 40, 50 सब पे same ही होता. मतलब you should know, make your decisions not by the number on the screen, but purely on the basis of charts, right? The chart should tell you what to do.
Absolutely. Superb.
Yeah. So commodities, like I have explained, since I only care about like what is on the chart, for me it's another chart. And the good thing I noticed in commodities as opposed to stocks is, जब move start होता है तो काफी महीनों तक चलता है. And like right now, even as we are recording, like I have like huge trades going on, but I'm kind of comfortable with the whole thing because like I know like day to day I'm not doing much. I just have some general alert set, which is कि अगर इस point पे आया, then you know for sure कि the chart no longer looks good.
Nice.
Otherwise I'm not optimizing for short like day to day कि थोड़ा profit book किया या.
So your chart is for what duration? Like minimum duration?
Like okay, so the way I see it is, अगर कोई सेटअप वीकली चार्ट पे सही लग रहा है, दैट इज बेटर देन कोई डेली चार्ट पे दिखना इज बेटर देन आवरली 15 मिनट दैट वे, राइट? बिकॉज अगर वीकली सेटअप पे अगर कोई कप एंड हैंडल कुछ बना है, दैट मीन्स काफ़ी ऐसे मार्केट को एक तो टाइम मिला है टू वीड आउट वीक हैंड्स, और बड़े प्लेयर्स ने सब बहुत आराम से अपना पोजिशन बनाया है. बट द सेम थिंग अगर तुम्हें 15 मिनट पे कोई कप एंड हैंडल दिख रहा है, दैट डजंट मीन मच, राइट? सो दैट इज हाउ आई लुक एट इट. लाइक आई वांट टू जूम आउट एज मच एज पॉसिबल. Once I like a chart on a long time frame, then I would zoom in and then maybe like optimize my entry a bit. Because the best feeling is when you enter a trade and it immediately starts to move in your favor, right? So also you might be looking at a chart without a trade for as much time as possible, but it is only after you get in that you realize like how it actually is moving. It's like feeling the pulse of a particular thing, right? So that has been another experience. Like since the last like almost year now, since I've been only trading mostly gold, and I also experimented a bit with silver, copper, aluminium, all of that. But gold chart mein, it almost feels like I know the pulse of that chart, how it moves. Like sometimes it helps me optimize कि जब कोई sudden fall भी आता, I know this is like a fake fall, and I use those opportunities to add up even more, right? So,
okay. Oh, so you don't mind averaging at a loss?
Not when it's already in a lossy position, but if I'm already in a profit, then
and there is a retracement of a price, you won't mind adding more. But it has to be a profitable position to add more.
Yep.
So you enter now and you start incurring loss. Do you average?
Then, I mean, I have done it in the past, but I don't think that's a good strategy.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah.
Average only if you are in a profit.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And as I like in 3 years now, when I look at my journey, I have done options, I have done cash stocks, I have done commodities now. I'm always looking for like what should be the next step in my journey, right? So the thing, looking at a gold chart or a crude oil chart, it helps me get an overall sense of like koi news jab aata, how do you correlate that to the charts, right? Or else sometimes people are saying something, but the charts are saying something else, right? There have been instances in the past like where just looking at charts, I have been able to predict some tariff that Trump later said. Like copper mein, I saw a really strong setup on a chart. It was like a multi like month kind of setup, and Just like when I had told my friends ki, okay, this chart looks great, the same day Trump announced this on copper imports, and it went up 20%.
Yeah.
For a commodity on a global scale to go up 20%. So that has always helped me. Like a whole bunch of times when I'm doing my weekend scans, right? मुझे ऐसे दिखता है कि कोई इंडस्ट्री ग्रुप में there is like a good set of setups lining up. Like fertilizer stocks सब सही लग रहे हैं, या metal सारे सही लग रहे हैं, and you realize what is the actual effect a few weeks later. कि there were some fertilizer subsidies that were going to be announced. So for me, that way, like I feel like reading charts helps me predict the future in a certain way, and it helps me stay connected to the whole world. Right?
Ultimately, there is an insider, right?
Yeah.
In every stock, there is an insider, and now Donald Trump is the biggest insider. He takes position in futures market, and then he announced the Trump tariff.
So, I mean, it aligns with my view that तुम data से decision ले रहे हो, like not news articles or stories or any of this.
Stories will come later. Data speaks 1,000 words. Yeah, that's true.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.